What's up everyone, OJ over here, and welcome to another video. Today, we've got some awesome information for you guys, so let's go ahead and get right into it. And we are starting off with a follow-up to a story that I did recently about Octopath Traveler and the Nintendo Switch rumored to be topping the July NPD. Now, for those who don't know, the NPD charts are for the US only when it comes to sales. So the total sales, almost like Media Create, but not every single week, but pretty much once a month you'll get a report the following month on the last month's sales, and they'll total up everything. It does count online retailers, and it's usually what a lot of the console manufacturers, pretty much everybody, uses to track sales. However, the only difference here, which is a big difference, is that we don't actually get numbers released normally. If you pay for the NPD, then you get the sales reports. However, they're NDA'd, so there's a non-disclosure agreement, so you can't just go out there and say the numbers. However, there are a number of people who leak stuff out that are trusted leakers who have the information, and that's kind of how we get the numbers and the sales and everything. So I did a report on Octopath Traveler and the Nintendo Switch. Octopath Traveler was the #1 game sold for July, and the Nintendo Switch was the #1 hardware. We also had hardware numbers across the board. Nintendo Switch was #1 with 263,000 units plus. And then if you look at like the NES Classic and also the Super Nintendo Classic, those apparently combined to have 344,000 units plus. PS4 and Xbox One followed respectively 2 and 3. So year-on-year sales, all that is there. So if you want the full report, that's there. But one thing that I was unclear about was the sales software position charts, because that's always tricky because they have like sometimes digital sales included, sometimes not. But apparently, based on some new information here on the software side, this was physical only. Octopath Traveler was the top selling piece of software, followed by Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So I thought that that was just the Nintendo charts, because they do split it up to Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony. But apparently that's not the case. The charts for software here, it was Octopath Traveler #1, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe #2, and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild #3 for the overall software physical side of things, which would be absolutely incredible and just kind of show you the great evergreen status of Nintendo Switch titles. The fact that Octopath Traveler can spur people to buy 2 or 3 more games with the system, which does make sense. We were talking about this on PlayerEssence Cross Nintendo the other day, and yeah, it does make sense that if you buy Octopath Traveler, the chances are you're not only going to buy a Switch and Octopath Traveler, you're going to check out some of the games that you didn't get beforehand, which I've talked about quite a bit. It's not just one game that's going to spur sales or boost sales so much, it's the combination of games. And I think this is probably the best example of that, or proof that I can bring up, that yeah, that's great that a new game comes out and it helps boost sales, but it's not just one game, it's multiple games, because people bought Octopath Traveler and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So those games all gave it a bump. So for some, it might have just been a little bit of a nudge to spur on sales, but that doesn't mean the other games don't help as well. So this was kind of like, okay, you got me over the hump here. Now I'm finally going to get it. What else am I going to pick up? Okay, these games look good too. Obviously, Switch games, they're called evergreen for a reason. And the fact that Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, more than a year out from launch, same thing with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, can top the software charts with the NPD this far out is just crazy to see, and great to see as well, which it bodes great prospects going forward in the future. I think all of the new games that are coming out this year, combined with the old games from last year, is really going to create a powerful second half of the year for Nintendo. I think we're going to see some pretty explosive sales like I talked about before, but once again, it's one of those things we're just going to have to wait and see. But I think Nintendo's heading towards a pretty good second half, maybe even a record-breaking one, be it that. So what do you guys think about the sales here, and what do you guys think about this? Remember guys, it is somewhat of a rumor till we get a confirmation this upcoming week, so let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, and moving into the next topic here, The Messenger finally has a release date on the Nintendo Switch and PC via Steam. So publisher Devolver Digital and developer Sabotage Studio announced that The Messenger will launch for the Nintendo Switch via the eShop and Windows PC via Steam on August 30th. So we're going to be getting that pretty soon here. And let's go ahead and go over an overview of the game if you don't know what The Messenger is about. If you like old school Ninja Gaiden, this might be the style of game for you. Maybe not as hard, but still like the style of it. But it has a very unique hook, or its gimmick, so we'll go over that in just a bit. As a demon army besieges his village, a young ninja ventures through a cursed world to deliver a scroll paramount to his clan's survival. What begins as a classic action platformer soon unravels into an expansive time-traveling adventure full of thrills, surprises, and humor. Here are the key features of the game: dynamic, acrobatic gameplay, and ultra-tight controls worthy of an epic ninja adventure. Character upgrades, new abilities, hidden levels, and branching paths to discover, and that right there seals the deal for me. Meticulously designed 8-bit and 16-bit sprites, animations, and backgrounds in the spirit of the classics. A memorable cast of offbeat villains, bosses, and associates. An original soundtrack by renowned chiptune composer Rainbow Dragon Eyes, handmade using Family trackers. So quite a list of features there, guys, but for me the biggest thing is how you have upgrades, you have abilities, you have all this different stuff that you can customize in the game. I love the branching paths, the time travel. There's all sorts of craziness in this game. They're not taking themselves too seriously. There's a little bit of humor thrown in there, which is good. But if you like the old school action games out there like Ninja Gaiden and everything, I think this is right up your alley. But I think it kind of takes it up to the next level. I think they go above and beyond what we saw back then. And then the whole 8-bit to 16-bit has just been crazy to see. If you watch the game and you see the transition between them, you're like, man, that's actually a pretty cool thing that they added into the game and what you can do, the styles. I watched a ton of this game at E3 2018 and I thought it was amazing. That's when it really got me. They did the whole Devolver Digital press conference, which they showed off the game, but when they actually showed the gameplay going, that's what really got me on the messenger and talking about it and making sure that it's on my radar to play the game, just because it just looks so cool in the gameplay. When you see the 8-bit, then you see the 16-bit, you see the gameplay style. It's like a fair Ninja Gaiden. I know a lot of you guys played the old school Ninja Gaiden games on the NES, so this is like a fair Ninja Gaiden type of game, because Ninja Gaiden was not fair at all. It was ridiculous. So what do you guys think about the messenger? Are you guys excited for this game? August 30th, it's dropping PC and the Nintendo Switch. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving into the final topic here, we do have a delay for Super Neptunia RPG. So Idea Factory International has delayed Super Neptunia RPG from its previously planned fall 2018 release to spring 2019 in North America and in Europe. So in Japan, Super Neptunia RPG is still due out for the PlayStation 4 on September 27th. The Nintendo Switch version has not been announced for the country yet, although there is a Korean version that has Japanese text in there and everything. So maybe they're waiting for like a Japanese Nintendo Direct to announce it. I'm not really sure. Maybe it's not coming out at all. But let's go ahead and get into a little bit of an overview about this game, just because I think it's actually pretty cool. And it's the first time in a while that I've seen like an Idea Factory Neptunia game on a Nintendo platform. Developed by Artisan Studios in Canada, the game brings the characters of the self-referential Neptunia series to life in a whole new way. Each character was hand-drawn by Sukino, the artist behind the series, then animated by computer magic to create a world that's mysteriously gone from 3 dimensions to 2. Explore side-scrolling dungeons and fight in turn-based battles to settle debate once and for all, which games are better, 2D or 3D? Now, I didn't know about all that, the battle between 2D and 3D here. So here's a little bit more on the story as well. In a world where 2D games reign supreme, an organization called Bombix Mori forces its citizens to churn out 2D games as offerings to their leader. Those who dare to use new technologies or whose games don't meet their standards risk banishment to the soul-crushing trial grounds. A girl awakens in this world with no recollection of anything beyond her name, Neptune, and soon realizes she possesses great strength. With her newfound sense of heroism and a strange book known as the History in hand, she sets off on a journey if there might be more than this two-dimensional life. And that is a crazy setup for this game. I had no idea about the story. Now I have to play it. So here are the key features of the game. Old school dungeons. Explore gorgeously painted interactive dungeons in a style inspired by classic gaming titles. Follow the leader. Enter turn-based battles where the party's attack style changes based on the battle leader. Switch leaders on the fly, transform mid-battle, and use elemental attacks to maximize your team's strategy. Save the game industry or game history? In a time where retro gaming and 3D graphics are at polar ends, the story delves headfirst into a debate for a self-aware ribbing of game culture. 2D comes to life. The hand-drawn art of Neptunia series artist Sukino is brought to life by Artisan Studios, showing the characters in a whole new way. So you guys are checking out more of the game's opening movie and gameplay as well. So this story seems is absolutely crazy and something that I definitely want to get into. I didn't know about the story beforehand, like I stated, and I want to kind of see more about this because 2D versus 3D, I don't think we've had many games that talk about that type of aspect at all, to be self-aware of that. So that's pretty crazy, and I think that it's awesome. Maybe they need a little bit more time to flesh out everything there because it does seem a bit ambitious. So what do you guys think about all the different topics that we discussed here? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We got Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of PlayerEssence across the internet in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon, Twitch, YouTube Live Gaming, and our merch store as well. Helps us really support PlayerEssence when you do so. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you, Ninja, for the next video. Peace.